Great question, Anthony.
I'm just asking.
And I'm never passionate about modeling.
Yeah. You blown $400 on a first date.
There are things I'm willing to spend money on, and a good meal is definitely one of them. What I would like right now in life?
Yeah.
Someone to share it with.
This is crazy.
When I get in, and it was the lowest paying gig ever. It was 5 weeks. 60.
We'll do more for other people than we will for ourselves. Joining me today is a longtime friend in the modeling world. We met through the career of modeling. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and we're going to get into some potentially dangerous territory of topics.
Oh, is that my cue?
Some ASMR. And go ahead.
What's up, everyone? Michael Petanaude, like you said, a dear friend from the modeling world. Probably about a decade ago now. Golfing buddies. We're in the same book club, and that's it now, right?
Picture books, yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, my name is Anthony Thomas. I'm the host of this here show, and sometimes we just wing it. Sometimes I have guests on where I'm like, ooh, let me do some good research on this individual and try to formulate some solid questions. And other times I'm like, you know what? This is the only way I can justify getting some hangout time with someone I haven't seen in a long time. So we just do it spontaneous's when it works out. I'll let you decide which one of those we've got today, but here's to a successful podcast.
It's going well so far.
Yeah, we've only been trying to troubleshoot audio for about 45 minutes. Only about 45 of those minutes. So, give us an up-to-date, like, where are you in your life right now? You just landed a new job. You're sort of no longer in front of camera. You're now behind camera, behind the scenes, all that stuff. What are you doing? And why?
Well, so I was modeling full-time for about 6 years there. And just really lost, I was going to say I lost passion. I was never passionate about modeling. Yeah. I was passionate about the life it afforded me. But eventually it finally reached a tipping point, and, work kind of slowed down too, kind of give me a little nudge. And I'm not inherently creative. More of a business mindset type of guy, but I knew I wanted to stay in the industry, so my brother suggested production, and really just jumped headfirst into it. And that was 3 years ago, and last August I landed a production producer gig, and
oh shit!
It was contract at first, and 7 months later they brought me on full time. So I guess I did something right, and really just loving it, or they had no other option.
Or nobody wanted that job.
Nobody wanted that job. Yeah.
One of those. No.
Either way, I won.
What is it about the production side of things that you're like, dude, this is so much better than modeling?
Not the pay.
Really?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, some of these modeling gigs are pretty cushy.
Yeah.
There is security in it, but just getting to use my brain is the main part. Some modeling you get to, flex your brain, flex your athleticism. But I was doing e-com. That was my main bread and butter. Yes. And you know how that goes.
Yes. For those that don't know, e-commerce, it's the photos. When you model for e-commerce, it's like, this is the photo that you're seeing when you're shopping online and you're scrolling through the website, and it's like kind of the same poses over and over and over, typically just a white background. It's probably the most mundane type of modeling you could do. So, for context,
8 hours standing on concrete.
Barefoot, usually.
Changing 30, 40, up to 70 times. Yeah.
And doing the same poses over and over and over.
Yeah. So, for 6 years.
Okay.
It was that.
So you're using your brain.
Predominantly.
Yeah. You had other stuff too, for sure.
Yeah.
How are you using your brain in production now? You're a producer.
Yeah. I guess photography producer is the actual title. I have a team of 8 people on set. And the way I look at it is every day on set, we've got all these puzzle pieces. We got, the things we need to shoot. We've got our photographer. We've got deadlines, and it's really just the producer's job to put that puzzle together and make sure everything runs smoothly.
So are you first on the chopping block when stuff goes bad?
Not necessarily. Not necessarily, because we have like 4 or 5 different departments, so it's pretty easy to locate where something went wrong.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been living and learning. This is my first job not as the production assistant, and production assistant's like low of the low.
Yeah.
Like you do all the bitch work.
Yeah.
Which I
Go
still do, and I don't have an assistant. But I enjoy every aspect of it.
Okay. And
it's humbling when you got to do the dirty work.
The grunt stuff.
Takes you back. Reminds you where you came from.
That's good. Yeah. What it sounds like is you came from much higher pay for much less dirty grunt work.
On a day rate basis, yes.
Yeah, but on the annual, not so much.
On annual, yeah.
Okay.
I'd be in a good place.
Okay.
Better than I have been in the last few years. Like, it was post-COVID. People, companies weren't shooting as much. Budgets were cut. That kind of thing.
But, okay, you're better off financially, you say, but, how are your spending habits? Like, where are you... Where are you... spending money? Like, if you just threw $400 out, I'll just pull a random number out of the budget. If I randomly, where would that be? Let's say
it could go a lot of places. Some things have a better return on investment than others. I've spent $400 a lot in the last few months. Sometimes more.
Yeah.
Window tint for my new car.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe just a casual night out, just every day, first date. You don't do that?
No, definitely not.
Oh.
So you blowing $400 on a first date?
$390.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If you drive a ball at $390, you don't say you hit it 400.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I love that you put that into golf terms. But
big golfer.
What?
By the way.
What? Okay, so you're gonna blow $400 on a first date. What are you doing on this date? That's $390 for a first date.
You're gonna make me tell a story again?
No, just give me bullet points. Where are you spending $400 on a first date? What is it for?
Just a kind of a nicer cocktail bar. Oh, you mean the idea behind it? Not
no.
Where I spent it?
Literally where you spent it.
Where I spent it. Okay. 3 whiskey gingers, 2 IPAs, and a $34 pour of bourbon. Plus tip, of course. I'm a 25% tip. I usually try to go at these places.
What a good guy.
Yeah.
And then $400, let's say, if you're not on your first date, but you still go out. And let's say you sort of do you become a regular at certain establishment where you're blowing $400 a single night several times?
Well, it was 2 spots. I didn't spend $400 at one bar.
Okay, so that's 2 spots. But on a different occasion. Say a different occasion than this first date, whatever we're talking about. Let's say you go out.
Yeah.
And you're not dating.
You're not an established
exclusive
couple.
Yeah, well no, you're not even with that person. Let's say you go out, you leave the casa. And you go out to blow $400. Where are you spending it?
There are things I'm willing to spend money on, and a good meal is definitely one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite places for a good meal to spend money on like that?
I've got 2 recently, where I took 2 first dates, respectively.
This is
this is turning into a grilling. Jacqueline in Southeast Portland. It's a fancy French seafood restaurant.
I can't wait to hear the second one. It better start with Casa.
So Jacqueline, that's a favorite of mine. Took this gal. We went to a bar, played some pool, drank a little bit, and I was like, "Are you hungry? You like seafood?" She said, "I love seafood." I was like, "Cool, I'm gonna call this place." And the off chance they have an opening, their reservations are 2 weeks out. And he said, "You know what? I got a table open for 2." He was like, "We'll be there in 10 minutes." Got chef tasting menu. Dumb.
Sorry
Nice.
for that first date, whoever you are. Damn. Oh, got this dumb.
It's not dumb.
Horrible, yeah.
No, it was one of the best first dates I've been on, and she was pretty cool. She was really cool. It was a really fun time. It was irresponsible. That was the dump. I did not need to. She even offered to pay half. I said no.
Hey, I mean, who asked who on the date?
I asked her.
Yeah, and that was nice gesture of her, but also good call on your part to be like, no, because you asked her.
I mean, she picked up a couple of drinks at the bar, so I'm like, I'm gonna treat you to a nice dinner. This is my idea. Chef tasting menu, nice bottle of white wine.
I had a date like that recently.
Oh,
I did. Yeah, it was very serendipitous. So I flew out of town for a shoot, and I was in this studio. I was at, like, they basically had to go see. And I was trying stuff on and shoot and everything like this to see if they want to book me in the future. And I see this model that is shooting, and like they're working. They're not there for a go-see, but this model is stunning. And I'm like, oh man, I know this model, and we have to go. We have to get together tonight because I'm only in town for the night. So
Wait, this is recently?
This is recently. This is like a couple, maybe 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
And so make eye contact. We both smile. We both start cracking up. And 2 hours later, Temple Dent and I are out of the sushi joint. We got the chef's tasting menu at the sushi joint.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
In Seattle?
No, this is in Denver.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Denver for this fitting. Temple is there shooting, and we're like, what? And we both freak out, and then we got, like, this is at the end of his day, too. And then there was a sushi joint that he'd been to before. I forget the name of it, but, dude, literally, I can't believe I'm saying this, but the best sushi I've ever had in Denver, Colorado.
That far from the water.
That far from the water. It was wild. But, yeah, we did the whole chef's, we, shared a whole chef's menu, and it was terrific, dude.
Saw him recently. He came in for Fred Meyer. It was good to see him.
Did he?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen him since he moved.
Yeah, moved back to Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, cool. I'll respect that you're going to leave your $400 nights to that. I won't push too hard there. But you're not seeing that gal?
No, we went... Oh, this is a funny story. I'll tell this story.
Okay.
All right. So, I got out of a relationship end of October, November. She got out of one in December. So when I initially reached out in January, she was like, I'm not looking for any kind of relationship, even friends right now. So
good for her.
A few weeks go by, and I make her a meme.
Mm-hmm.
You know the Bernie Sanders meme?
Of him sitting down?
Asking
for
your donation.
Yeah.
So I made that, and I said, I'm once again asking if you'd like to hang out. It's dumb, right?
Uh-huh.
It worked.
No way.
So what happened was she replied to one of my stories. I was with Xavier, my good friend Xavier. Shout out to him.
Man, I haven't seen X in so long.
X man. He's
Love
doing
that dude.
well.
Good.
I've seen him a few times lately, but so I was with him at Backstage Bar, this big pool hall.
Okay.
It's McMinimans, and I posted it, and she said, that's my favorite bar. Made the meme. I said, how about we go play pool sometime? And we did. So that happened. First date, amazing. Hit it off, I thought. No, we had a great time together. And so the next week, we both worked from home on Monday, so I suggested how about we go to a coffee shop, bring our laptops, real chill. Did that. Went to a sandwich shop, split a couple sandwiches. Went great again, right?
So you thought.
So I have a tendency to to jump in pretty heavy. So I'm trying to impress her. I have this dish I like to make. So I'm like, why don't you come over for dinner?
Here we go.
Why don't you come over for dinner and I'll make you dinner and we'll have some wine. She said, that sounds lovely. So, this is where everything falls apart.
Oh boy.
My meat thermometer stops working. And I rely on this thing to... So I'm like, oh great, I'm going to have to freestyle this and time it. Mm-hmm. They didn't have bone-in pork chops. They only had boneless. Meat's not as tender. It's not the same. So already I'm like, I'm doomed.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, awful. Overcooked.
Straight to jail.
Like the mushroom sauce, creamy mushroom sauce, way too watery.
Uh-huh.
Embarrassing.
Uh-huh. Go on.
But the night goes on. I think she's trying to make me feel good. Like, oh, it's great. The garlic bread, nailed it. I nailed the garlic bread.
Okay, good.
So we end up deciding to go bowling. We
Yeah.
go bowling, have what I thought was a good time, and then the next day, she sends me the old, hey, I hate to throw this on you text. And so that's been a big butt of the joke at work, is that it was the overcooked pork.
Hold on. When she said, hey, I hate to throw this on you, what was the reasoning? Was it like, I'm just not feeling it? Or was it like, there's another guy?
She said that... Okay. She mentioned not feeling the type of connection she was looking for. And then she mentioned... She said, obviously we have chemistry, but I don't know if I'm feeling the exact connection I want to feel.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're ready to jump into something serious when I'm not. Which was probably true, but I also don't like her telling me how I was feeling. I don't think that was fair.
That's a fair point. But she's not wrong.
That's not what's important.
Hey, look,
No,
she was right, but I don't like her telling me, with all that accuracy.
Yeah, that didn't work out.
Okay.
It was, I was upset, but, it was completely understandable. We weren't even going to hang out to begin with. So I was, no hard feelings, all that. Hope we run into each other, blah, blah, blah.
Good, man. I'm glad there's no hard feelings. And good for her, honestly, because...
I was appreciative that she didn't let it drag on.
Exactly. Yeah, don't let things drag on like that.
I would not cut things off. So,
when did you grow out of that, would you say?
About 4 months ago.
I used to be that guy. How old are you? 33?
Yeah.
I used to be that guy, but I grew out of that 4 months ago.
I was just laying it up for you.
That's so good. All right, what? We've been on set so many times where it's like downtime, it's dead between shots, and we're just sitting there and we're bullshitting. And so many epic topics arise that we're like, dude, we geek out over stuff from like little conspiracy things to whatever, like wild stuff.
Love a conspiracy.
What has been atop your mind the most recently?
In general? Or
in
to
general.
Do with you?
Either one. I guess.
Oh, man. This is going to sound so cliche, but I've just been so invested in work lately that when I get home from my downtime, I'm putting a game on, college basketball, NBA, whatever. Mm-hmm. Hop on Xbox. Still play a lot of video games. Play with my college roommate. My justification is that's how we keep in touch. This is like our 3-hour FaceTime.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're on the headset, catching up. For sure.
What are you playing? What games are you playing?
PUBG.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Battle Royale group.
Yeah, but with real physics. Like, you got Fortnite where you're flying around. PUBG, it's like, not even Call of Duty. It's like actual physics. You run at normal speeds.
Wait. How is Call of Duty not like normal physics?
jumping
because
6
the double
feet in
jump
the
or whatever.
air,
Yeah,
and
okay, I got you.
You do a knee slide. You're like
yeah,
popping to a knee slide and you're accelerating. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so that's okay. That makes complete sense to me. What you mean by it?
It's like they try to replicate Earth, like physics on Earth.
That's
so
it.
you're having to lead a guy if you're shooting at him from a certain distance.
No way.
Drop, all that stuff.
No way.
Yeah,
That's
it's
sick.
fun.
Okay.
Yeah,
and
we play PGA as well.
For real?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Now we're talking golf, baby.
We
golf.
play PUBG until we're either sucking too much or you're just over it, and then we'll hop on PGA.
Are you better at PGA on Xbox than you are at putting off of the green in real life?
Shot a 67 at Bay Hill the other night.
Damn. Okay,
That
that's
answers your
definitely
question.
that answers it very clearly because that is not a big whiff with the putter. Okay, so
maybe you can explain this and edit this video in. But
yeah, I'll see if I could get it tossed in there. We're out playing golf. How long ago was this? I mean, this has been a multi-year
couple years
running joke of hilarity, and I have this video still where we're out playing golf. It's our friend Jesse and us, and
right down the street.
Right, golf course right down the street, and this guy hits a pretty decent shot, and he's just short of the green. But he has probably like a, call it like a, say, 100-foot putt from off of the green. So you got to give it a nice whacking, let's say.
Yeah, you got to commit.
You got to commit.
Keep your eye on the ball.
So this guy lines it up, and he stands over it, and we're watching with so much anticipation. And this is on video. We have this video. We're watching with so much anticipation, and he pulls the club back, but it just keeps going, and it just keeps going. And myself and Jesse, we're like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Because it's starting to look like a full swing with a golf club when it should be still a putt. He rears back, and he swings so hard at this golf ball.
It'll be a full swing.
But he whiffs it with a putter, and
I made contact.
That's still a whiff. I mean, there was a tiny bit. That was just like the
Ball
pressure. That was just the sheer pressure of the vacuum your putter was creating. And the ball does move, but I mean, just dying. Jesse's filming it. I don't know how far out of frame I am, but I laugh. I hadn't laughed that hard in a while.
I watch this video sometimes just to hear his laugh. It's that good.
It was explosive. It was absurd.
It wasn't.
But yeah, so not the greatest golfer is what we're getting at. Not like not going out shooting 67 at Bay Hill, you know. No. So okay, so lately it's just been work, and then you're like, let me go to video games or whatever to decompress.
Yeah.
When you're talking like work is atop your mind, what are you even thinking about? Is it just like, oh, I always have a project that I have to be working on some moving piece, and that's what you're thinking of? Or are you like, how can I get better at producing? Like, what aspect of this is?
It's the latter, because it's generally we have the same stuff every week. So I've got that stuff dialed in, but every now and then, you take time to reflect, or something goes south. Or it could be something as little as I left someone hanging on an email when they checked in. That happened today. I went to email a hair and makeup artist her availability, and I had left her on red. And I was like, things like that. Things happen where I'm like, okay, you got to do better at this. Because like I said, it's been 7 months.
Yeah.
I had some amazing mentors that I worked under and learned a lot from. But, until you're thrown in there and on your own.
For sure.
That's when you really learn, and so that's what I've been focused on.
Okay.
How can first it was how do I make this role mine and own it from the person before me? Like, what are things I saw that could be changed to make things more efficient and whatnot? And yeah, it's just a continual lesson almost. It's just every day I see something that maybe could use improvement.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been focused on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And from this, are you feeling like this is my zone? This is what I've been missing. I mean, I'm right where I need to be, or is this like, right now, this is just better than modeling?
100%.
Which one?
The former.
Really?
It's
This is like
you
are in it.
I feel fortunate to say this, but I love my job, and I'm not just saying that. Like I've never once been driving to work dreading it.
Damn.
I might be tired or something, and for one reason or another, I don't want to go into work.
Yeah.
But I never dread the work.
That's
And
dope.
a big part of that is my team is just incredible. Our photographer and art director, Laura, and Amron, they've become like two best friends. We hang out outside work. It's such a cohesive unit, and we have so much fun together.
Got it.
They're like my big sisters. I'm like the little brother on set.
Yeah, because you're way younger than everybody. Huh?
I'm younger than everyone. I work with 7 women. Yeah. It's an interesting it's a new dynamic for me.
Yeah.
And I love it.
Good.
Yeah.
What do you feel like this chapter is missing from your life?
Oh, man. What I would like right now in life?
Yeah.
Someone to share it with.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I've been, going on all these sweet first dates.
Okay, so you're spending all this time trying to figure out how to improve as a producer. Are you also spending time trying to figure out how to improve as a guy who dates women?
Yeah, and I think that's where, like I mentioned before we started recording, my dating life is a hot topic because I'm the only single person. I'm at least 7 years younger than everyone, and I come to them for advice, and they also, in turn, love hearing my stories.
Okay, hold on. I don't know.
They're so invested. I always want to hear how last night's date went, or,
Go on. Or you know what?
No.
Okay. So, I don't know anything about these women that you work with. Are these all women that you go, dude, they have the life, the relationship that I admire. They are relationship goals.
I really only understand the relationship of 2 of them. The 2 I just mentioned. And, I mean, it's like any relationship, There's highs and lows.
Yeah.
Some days are better than others.
Yeah.
But they do, they have that camaraderie. They found their person.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But, like, historically for them, are these people that you're like, I admire their journey and this is someone I should take words of advice from? Like, this is the way I think of it. If I'm entering a world, or I'm just trying to improve one specific aspect of my life, whatever that may be, and I have a group of people around me that I could take input from, if none of them are people that I admire how they live their life, their relationship, and the history of how they got there and all these things, if none of them possess that, I'm not going to seek their guidance on this arena, right?
Yeah.
So an example of this would be like, if I'm kicking it with Tiger Woods. I use this example often. I'm kicking it with Tiger Woods, right? Tiger's like, yo, Ant, let me tell you how to live your life in the world of golf. I'm going to be like, I can't get enough ears, right?
Yeah.
I'm locked in. Everything else is shut out.
Man, Tiger's going to catch strays here, huh?
But if Tiger's like, let me tell you how to do like relationships and romance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is what I'm asking is like, these might be wonderful people and they probably are terrific. And I'm willing to bet they have your best interest at heart. They really have wonderful intentions.
Yeah.
But as you know, with the growth that you've had from 4 months ago, from 32 years, 8 months to 32 years and 13 months, like you're a different person, right? Or a different aspect of what makes sense, what is healthy, what I should follow, what I shouldn't follow, what I should pursue, how I should do it, all this stuff. You know that. So are these people, even though you had good intentions back then, you also have good intentions now. Intentions aren't everything.
Yeah.
Are these people that you're like, I look at them and I just go, damn, they have exactly what I want. Or as close to what I want as I've seen.
I don't think I've ever looked at it like that. I think mainly what I come to them for is advice and a woman's perspective.
That could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Can it? I mean, think about this. Think about the shittiest guy you know.
Got him.
Now think of 7 of him. All right. I'm not saying this is the scenario. This is just an extreme case, for the analogy here. 7 of him. And there's one gal who's just like, I'm going to these guys for guys' advice. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you could be in that scenario right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm just asking this question to try to see, are you aware of where they stand on your chart of successful, healthy, loving relationship, or they're just women, right? Like, check the box of just women. Like, the example, this girl, she's around 7 guys that are just guys, so they can give I'm looking for advice from guys, the perspective of a guy, but it's like, not all guys are equal, not all women are equal in that way.
But I will say I know my team well enough to know where their hearts are. I know they're good people. Yeah. I know they have good relationships with those around them.
Romantic relationships?
Like I said, I'm only familiar with 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Like, you don't got to get into their details, but I'm just saying, as you think of it, are they relationship goals as you see it?
I'd say one of them, yes.
Okay. That's the one maybe to listen to. And maybe challenge the other ones. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Or just find...
And funnily enough, she gave me the nudge because I was hesitant, this new guy I've been seeing, to approach her in the manner I was thinking about doing, and she gave me the confidence and nudged me to do it.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Great, because I'm still seeing her.
Were you like, hey, I would love to send you this meme and see if you would accompany me on a $400 first date?
How many more times are you going to mention 400? No, I hit on her at her job.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, how did this go? You hit on her at her job?
She was on the clock. Yeah.
There's not many jobs I can think of where it's like, that's a sort of appropriate.
I say hitting on. I did not hit on her. I just casually asked for her number. I didn't lay down some crazy game and follow her around the store. I was placing a contact lens order, This was my 3rd time in the store in a week. Not just because of her. I had to go in. I had an eye exam. Mm-hmm. Then I had to go in and get more samples because I was trying to find the contact brand I like.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I went in to order the brand I wanted. She just happened to be in there all 3 times. Mm. It was like, she's really cute. First it was like, she's cute. Then I came in again. I was like, oh, she's really cute.
Because you got your eyes fixed.
Actually, my eyes didn't get worse.
By the time you came in the 3rd time, these are the contacts. Yeah. Damn! What's up, girl?
Okay. So the day before I went to make this order, I had drinks after work with my 2 coworkers, mm-hmm. and I was telling them the situation. And I said, I don't want to be that guy who does this at her job. Yeah. And they were like, we wouldn't mind that, especially at her age. And so I was like, you know what? Yeah, I have nothing to lose. Yeah. So.
And you did it.
Fully anticipated she'd have a boyfriend, yada. So I ordered contacts through her. And then, this is a funny side note of this story. I was so nervous that when she asked if I wasn't ready to do it mentally yet, mm-hmm. So when she asked for a printed receipt, which I didn't need because I was getting it emailed, she's like, would you like a hard copy too? I said yes to buy myself more time.
Oh, nice.
So she had to go to the printer, and I'm like, come on. You got this. And then she came back, gave me it, and she said, can I help you with anything else? And I said, actually, yes, I kind of have a personal question. Wondering if you have a boyfriend. If not, I'd love to get your number and take you out. And caught her completely off guard. She let out a big nervous laugh, big smile on her face, wrote her number down. And, yeah.
Ooh.
I walked outside, turned the corner to go to my car, and let out let's go. Let's go. Took a picture of it, sent it to my coworkers. It was so cheesy. I was hyped.
Sports Center top 10.
Hyped. Yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah.
That's funny. That's cute. That's cute. So, did you jump into this one super heavy so far? And, you know, play the old school, same old same that you've done year after year? Or are you like, oh, dude, I'm slow playing this one?
Well, as you... So we went on our first date. We know how those go for me. It went really well.
How much did you spend on this first date?
$390.
Whew.
I got paid on Friday. We went out Sunday. You know, it's like I never had it. This is a good time to mention I have a finance degree.
Wait, do you really? You have a finance degree?
I do. Yeah.
From where?
That's
GoogleImages.com?
Central Washington University. Go Wildcats.
You went to Central?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Our friends Wade and Kara. I didn't know them back then, but we were there. We overlapped.
No way.
Yeah, right up in good old Eberg, Ellensburg.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
But did we take it slow? No. So we went out Sunday night.
No, hold on. You don't gotta air her business.
No, and come the following Sunday, we had seen each other all but one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks to those new contacts. Dad jokes.
Yeah.
All right, so here you are in this new...
I think once we established 3 or 4 dates in what we're looking for, and I told her what I'm looking for, we started to proceed with a little more thought, a little more intention behind our actions.
Were those, like, did those work? Like, what you're looking for, what she's looking for? Or was it like, ooh, not... I could work with that, but it's not, like, what I'm really after?
I don't think she had... I don't want to speak for her, but I don't think she was particularly looking for a relationship. While I am, and I think as we hung out more, you know, started to see like, oh, maybe this is someone I might be interested in, and then we had a really good talk one night about that all.
Okay.
So
you're in a relationship now, or what?
no. We were taking it slow. Very slow.
That's fine, just the delivery.
But we've established that, you know, there's no one else now.
Okay.
You know, we were both kind of dating someone before this.
Mm-hmm.
Broke that off.
Mm.
Yeah, full, you know, undivided attention.
That's great. That's lovely. I hope this goes really well for you. And her, of course, for you both. What else has been? What are you reading right now? Because you read some fascinating stuff. So
Really?
yeah. What do you? Yeah.
What's the last thing you remember me reading?
Last was when we were shooting together when I got food poisoning, and
Food poisoning.
yeah, wasn't it that shoot that you were reading?
Golf shoot?
No, at Pier Red. Weren't you there when I got food poisoning? When you were reading Ruby Ridge?
I took that book in public.
No, it was pretty secretive.
Pure Red. What job was this?
It was the little packaging.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went down a huge Ruby Ridge rabbit hole.
Really?
Let me tell you.
Yeah?
I had done so with Waco before, and then I learned the ties between them two because of McVeigh and the Oklahoma City bombing, which I actually went to Ground Zero when I was like 95, 4 years old. Yeah.
Damn.
I was living in Oklahoma City when that happened, and my dad took us there the next day.
Damn.
Yeah. So, at one point I got really interested in that because I can still see that building and it's like burned in my brain.
Yeah.
So I looked into that and found out what it was retaliation for. So I went hard on the Branch Davidians, learning about Waco.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You got to catch. I don't know.
Oh, you don't. Okay.
Just explain like we don't know anything about this stuff. So Oklahoma City bombing was a retaliation for what?
To what is generally considered pretty severe mishandlings by the FBI and the ATF.
Of
the deaths of American citizens.
Okay.
Some of whom were innocent. Some of whom were kids.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what the OKC bombing was.
It was retaliation on the government.
Got it.
Bombed a government building.
Got it.
And killed, I can't tell you off the top of my head.
I think it was like 100 and...
It was up there.
Yeah, it was like 170 something, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
More, give or take.
So these two incidents happened in, I think, Ruby Ridge was 92, and Waco was 93 or 94, and actually involved some of the same FBI team members. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You don't know about Waco and the Branch Davidians?
Mm-mm.
It was a cult.
Okay.
They had a compound. Eventually they learned, there's some
Was this the
sexual issues going on
the Kool-Aid?
What's that?
Was
no,
this...
that was Jonestown.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Mass suicide, yeah, no. This was this guy who thought he was Jesus and convinced all these people to come live with him in this compound. And, there was rumors of sexual assault on the kids, weapons charges, which is why the ATF got involved, and, eventually they raided, big standoff, firefight, and the compound burned down, and,
Damn.
a lot of people lost their lives.
Damn.
Ruby Ridge, honestly, I could talk for hours on Ruby Ridge, but that was just an incident with a guy who got an FBI agent, was posing as, he was undercover, and basically, what do they call it? It's when they bait them, entrapment.
Mm-hmm.
Talked this guy into selling him a sawed-off shotgun, and then they had charges against him, and he's like, I'm not going to court. He bought a house up in the hills in northern Idaho. He's like, I'm not fucking going. So he took his family up there, and eventually, some stuff went down, and his 13-year-old boy got shot. His wife got shot while holding their newborn. She got sniped.
By who?
An FBI sniper who took a blind shot. Went through their front door, headshot, baby in her arms. In front of the whole family.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was reading that Ruby Ridge book. I read one that was written by, I believe, a prosecutor or just an independent investigator.
Uh-huh.
And then I read one written by the guy.
No way.
Writing his story of it all.
Dang. So he survived.
He did.
Obviously.
And they let him off. I think they got him for the original weapons charges, but he was let off of all because I think at least one agent died.
Yeah.
In an initial shootout that happened that sparked the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So all of these things are fascinating, and this is not conspiracy. These are like history. It's legitimate. These events happen.
Huge events with a lot of controversy.
Right. Yeah. So, what are you reading now?
So I went down another rabbit hole of Cold War spies. Oh. Yes. I came across I follow this random history facts thing on Twitter X. Mm-hmm. So one popped up with this fellow named Robert Hansen, who is one of the most infamous spies in FBI history. He was spying for the Russians. At one point, he was in charge of the investigation to find the spy. He was in charge of finding himself. This book is nuts. Directly responsible for dozens of deaths, telling the Russians who's spying against them for the U.S., next time they're back in Moscow, and it's over.
Damn.
Executed. Yeah.
Damn.
So I read about that one.
Uh-huh.
Finished that. And then he's got a counterpart with the CIA who rivals him in infamy and how much damage he did to the U.S.
Who is it?
Aldrich Ames. So he was a spy for the CIA. Same thing around the same time, and they had the same Russian handler. So I'm starting the book about Ames, and I also purchased the book written by the handler. So those are my next two.
This is crazy.
When I get into a topic, I buy multiple. I don't just read one book on it.
Yeah. That's so good.
So that's what I'm getting into right now.
So what?
It's just fascinating, and I love history. So
Yeah. What are your... I want to get a picture for like people who are non-readers, let's say, but movie watchers or TV series watchers. What are your kind of go-to if somebody wanted to say, hey, I want to consume this stuff, but I want to watch it? What are your sort of like, I would turn this on or that on or something?
Well, I've seen all the Tarantino movies at least 10 times each.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big movie watcher, and it takes a lot for me to really go for it and watch a new movie. Mm-hmm. I will gladly watch a movie over and over again. But if war movies are always fun to me. Band of Brothers is like my all-time favorite series.
I still haven't watched it.
Oh,
it's been so highly referred to me by so many people that I trust their judgment on stuff like this, and I still haven't watched it.
I couldn't recommend something more. It's just incredible. I mean, it's Spielberg and Hanks directing it. They have the actual veterans that cuts like it reenacts a scene, and then they talk about it, and you can see what it means to them and watch them relive it. It's so powerful.
That's wild.
Yeah. So well done. If you haven't seen it, Band of Brothers, I think it's like a 10-part HBO series.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah.
What is the drive for you around these types of things, these types of novels, these types of stories? What is it for you? Because you could literally get hooked on anything.
My father, 20-year Air Force vet, huge military guy. I mean, I have a lot of history books that he gives me, you know, because he thinks I'll like them, I'll enjoy them. Mm-hmm. Anything history, especially military history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to your pops and his work that he did.
Yeah.
Which is...
he's got some cool stories.
Yeah. Pretty epic.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it kind of started for you.
That's definitely,
And that's why it was important for him to take you day one after the OKC bombing.
I don't know if it was the next day, but
very close to that.
Yeah, I think it was a way of kind of instilling, you know, this is what some people want to do to your country.
Right. Like let's show you evil so you understand.
Exactly.
Instead of this being some...
Exactly.
Right. I think that's powerful, and I know a lot of people have, you know, differing opinions.
It might have been a lot for a 4-year-old.
Yeah. I just picture your dad like Major Payne, the little engine that could. It can't feel my legs. That's cause you ain't got no legs. Like that's a little that intense is like, oh man. Okay.
Yeah. So definitely driven by him.
Yeah.
He never like forced it.
It was just his interest.
Like maybe we watched a war movie one time when I was maybe, I don't know, a certain age, and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah. I also think, like, I've been curious about this a lot lately, because I'm like, especially, I have 2 sons now, right, under 4 years old. I'm like, what is nature versus nurture? Like, is it natural? Because I see the rough and tumble play with boys versus girls and stuff like that. 'Cause, you know, I have nieces and nephews that I get around frequently. So, it's like, is that sort of war experience drive, is that innate for us? Because I think about it, like, you had that exposure with your pops, but then both my parents were in the army, but not wartime, and they weren't soldiers that were like, you know, doing anything crazy like that, right? So I wasn't exposed to that from my parents in any way, shape, or form, right? Still, military movies, war movies, spy movies among my top by far. Like, and then even books, like, I don't think I have any in here. They're inside, because this is more like kind of business and personal development stuff, but on the inside, like my bookshelf inside, everything from like Shooter, like Jack Coughlin, and, you know, like a lot of different military personnel stories. That's like, I love that stuff, you know, but I didn't have a direct exposure, like it sounds like, you know what I mean?
My dad never went to war either, but I mean, he took part in military-related activities. He was a pararescueman.
Yeah,
BJ.
But that's
so
like,
he saved some people, but, you know, never like he was saving like civilians and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So he was never in war, but yeah.
Yeah, but still, and even the training that he went through as a PJ and for folks that don't know,
like special forces training.
Yeah, like they're
50.
elite.
Yeah.
Like PJs, pararescue men, they're elite Air Force elite operators that the most intense trainings and things you can think of, the highest skill levels and all that stuff that others may live, I believe, is there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So the whole drive is like save lives, go into wherever we need to go in and get people out of there safely. Yeah. So pretty sick. Why didn't you ever join the military?
That's an amazing question, and I often regret I didn't.
Really?
Yeah.
How old are you? 33?
Yeah.
You gonna do it? You still could.
I still could, but no, I think I found my calling.
Really?
Yeah.
Producing is it.
Yeah, this is what I see for now. I don't see anything changing.
Damn, that's cool.
Yeah.
What a cool...
Maybe leveling up in that world, but definitely, yeah.
Would you want to produce stuff like Band of Brothers?
I would love to get into film.
Because that's... have you worked on any... Let's go here. What's the largest production you've worked on? Whether you're a producer or not. Modeling, whatever.
It was my very first production gig. So I'm on set for Brooks Running, shooting ecom, and I'm telling the stylist, I'm tired of modeling. I think I want to get into producing. She says, oh, go talk to that lady over there. Go tell her what's up. Didn't know her, and she said, let me connect you with my friend. He's hiring production assistants for a TV show coming up next month. Gives him my number. Talks me up, apparently. I've just met her.
Yeah.
So he calls me that afternoon and says, yeah, we've got a show coming in. It's a dating show. It'll be 5 weeks next month up here in Seattle. I was living in Portland. And he was like, baptism by fire, you want it? And I was like, I'm in. Didn't even think about it. Didn't think twice. I said, I'm in. And it was the lowest paying gig ever. It was 5 weeks, 65 hours a week. Yeah. Best experience work-wise in that industry of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so how many people were on, let's say call sheet, how many people, roughly?
So 5 couples, so it was Love is Blind on Netflix. It was season 4 in Seattle. So we have 5 couples, and you have a teams of 10 following them around.
Okay.
So there's 50 right off the bat, plus the cast, that's 60. And then you got probably 70 up to 80 on the call sheet. So
120-ish, 120-ish people that are all doing different tasks, jobs, roles, whatever.
That's like including, the companies out of LA. You got all them, and yeah.
And you had to wrangle all of this in some way, shape, or form, and keep track of these things and all that.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the resources, you have the right guidance, because there's 2 assistants per team, then we have a production manager who's looking after us, and then 2 more producers who kind of conduct the interviews and run the whole show, set up the shots. Yeah. So I had this guy named Vince Bean. Vince. The man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Mr. Bean?
He taught me everything. Yeah, Mr. Bean. Bean on the scene. That's his Instagram.
No way! Being on the scene.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Hails from LA, lives in Miami. That was my guy.
Yeah.
Taught me so much.
Really?
Yeah. Told me when I was fucking up. Told me when I was doing something right. Just real.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So that was the first great mentor I had as I, navigated this new world.
Yeah. How hard was it for you to, how much of this were you just completely lost on versus just oh, okay, I didn't know that that's the sequence?
I kind of hit the ground running. It just came naturally.
Really?
Yeah, because
that's what I
when I'm set for a decade before that.
Yeah.
In different capacities, maybe not this big, but just knowing how certain things work, and just really exercising, just getting to use my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool. I've wondered about that if I were to go, let me go behind camera, let me go on the production side. How challenging would it be for me? Because for years, there's so many times where I'll call things out on a shoot that it's hey, this is off, that's off, whatever it is, whether it's continuity or anything else, or tossing ideas of how to solve problems that, everybody's stuck on for a while.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered, like, what would that be like if I were to hop on that side of things? And then if I went production, what role would be the best suited? Like, is it director? What everybody wants and all that stuff? Or do I not have that vision?
Yeah.
And producing and like all that stuff? Because I don't feel like I'm that well organized of a guy.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Okay.
So I don't know that. Like, producing to me is like, you got to be organized. If you're going to be good. Like you were saying, like, I left this email and it was kind of like left on red. It's like, if you're going to be good at this, you have to be organized and all that stuff. Because I think of it as project management.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which my brother does. And I'm like, not that I could never, but there's definitely people who I would hire far sooner than I would hire myself for that role, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, like, first and foremost, being organized is like number one with production. I will say I probably don't see that much in my real life, my personal life. I procrastinate a lot. What was I about to say? Shoot.
You'll blow money, like
reckless spending
on a night out,
stuff like that. But when it's a job, dialed, like on it. So maybe there's that balance for me.
Yeah,
and I'm a little OCD. Like, you come to my apartment, everything's in place always, especially if I know someone's coming over. Everything's in place. Might not be the cleanest. Don't look at nooks and crannies, but it looks good.
Yeah, I got you.
Kind of thing.
I'm laughing because I'm thinking of this as you're like a little OCD. This video that a couple days ago, I was like, wow. I was like, this is perfect for Jeanette, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to show her this because it's so perfect. And it was a video. This dude was like. He's like, I asked my girl if she's got OCD, and she said no. It's called put shit back where the fuck you found it. And I was like, damn, that's me. That's me, because I leave stuff all over, and I'm like very scattered. Like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna leave it right here, and like pop over here, and I just bounce. Yeah. But she's very organized and all that. Like, that's what I mean. But I also get that aspect of like, oh, when I'm on it, when it's work time, I'm on it. Because I feel like part of this is just, a lot of psychology where you go, we'll do more for other people than we will for ourselves. And when you have the responsibility of other people in your hands, you're like, do not fuck this up. No matter what. Like, I'll lose sleep, I'll do whatever, but I got to make sure everyone else is taken care of. And that's,
So at least if I fuck up in my personal life because of my... carelessness or lack of planning. Yeah. The only collateral is me. Yeah. If I fuck up at work, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't, with like modeling early days, if I don't put enough money aside for taxes, that's all me. Yep. Happened once.
Yeah. Just once?
Yeah.
Just once. Happened for the first 3 years of me doing it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I don't have a finance degree, so.
I cheated my way through that degree.
Yeah.
But when I'm at work, I know, I'm going to have to answer to people.
Yep.
I don't want to let them down.
Yeah.
I don't want to cause stress on others.
I feel that. What is stressing you right now in life?
Good question. My spending habits.
Really?
Yeah.
For real, for real?
For real.
Damn.
Yeah.
You can even have a degree in finance. And
yeah, you haven't touched since 2014.
So hold on.
I could just be better at saving.
When's the last time you budgeted? You built a budget or looked at a budget for yourself of like, okay, this is my sort of...
It's funny you say that because it's been years, and now that I finally have a consistent salary for the first time since ever. Yeah. Like, enough salary to, I'm not talking like a construction job I was doing when I'm 23. I'm not going to put that much thought into it.
Right.
But now that I'm making, a little better money, I'm like, see, procrastinating. Like, let's make a budget sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, do it later.
All right, I'm gonna challenge you because we're on camera here. It is Wednesday, April 9th. When do you think you can have a budget done? A gentle budget, just like an overview. Here's what I spent on average per month over the last year. Here's what I saved on average per month over the last year.
Yeah.
And, you know, expenses and income, and have an idea of what that looks like on average per month. And then, you know, maybe you structure like, this little bit goes here, this little bit goes there.
Like, realistically?
Yeah, realistically.
I could go home after work and do it tomorrow. Because I studied finance, so it just comes naturally.
Yeah, totally. All right, challenge.
I mean, I could. Am I going to? Probably not.
Why not? Honestly.
Great question, Anthony.
I'm just asking.
Well, actually, I do have a scapegoat here. I'm yet to receive my first check, so I really don't know what my next check is going to look like.
Okay.
I know how much I'm going to make a year. I know how much that comes out to bi-weekly.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the tax implications are.
So could you do this under...
I could estimate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have it... You're not going to have it 100% done. Yeah. But you'll have a nice, accurate-ish estimation and a full map out. Could you do that by tomorrow? It's Wednesday, April 9th at 8:15 p.m. Yeah. Could you do this by... Let's not even say tomorrow. Let's say... Yeah, let's say tomorrow. 9:30 p.m. tomorrow. Yeah.
You know what? I don't have any plans after work.
Let's go.
Maybe grab a drink with my coworkers after work, but it's usually like one or two and split, so.
Bingo.
Yeah?
All right. There you go. Challenge accepted. But we also need proof of this. We need proof that you got it done. So send me a text that's like, you know, or like a picture or whatever with like your social... Like just put like and we'll put it. We'll publish it on this.
Okay, great. Address.
Yeah. Okay. No, but send proof.
Okay.
Send proof because we'll all check the timestamp and then I'll send it to my editor and see if she could toss it into. And
okay.
Yeah. All right. And then
I'll just blur out some numbers or something.
Yeah, you could blur out numbers. Just show proof, like that it's done. Okay. That you map something up.
I can do that.
And then if that's the biggest pain point in your life right now.
Yeah.
Let's say that's solved tomorrow. What's next?
Communication. I can tend to kind of go dark with people who, you maybe don't talk to someone for a while and then you reconnect and you're like, why don't I call them more?
Yeah.
Definitely been feeling that way about my parents. Opened up on them a little bit. I used to see them every week. So when I was modeling full-time, I was driving up there every week, and they lived there. In 2017, they moved to South Carolina.
Yeah.
So now I've gone from seeing them every week to maybe twice a year, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And parents are getting older.
Yep.
You don't see them for 6 months, you come back, you're like, oh, you're aging.
Yep.
So I've been pretty emotional about that lately.
Same here, dude.
My brother's also over in Pittsburgh. I don't see him as much as I'd like to.
Yeah.
So... And especially like my brother's turning 40 next weekend. My dad's turning 70 next month. So it's like, damn, 70, 40. That's wild.
That is wild. Do you think that if, like, in theory, let's say you solved your big issue of finance and budgeting, that, like, you might be able to find in the budget to stop blowing $400 on a first date night and use that to buy a ticket to go see him, or what?
Yeah.
I mean, could you make it out for the birthday next month? Realistically.
So I'm going out for my brother's, and the family's getting together. But with how work is, the plan was to go for the 70th too. But my dad's a reasonable guy. He knows this is a new job, just went full time. So his priority is like take care of your work.
Yeah.
You can come in June, whenever.
But how do you feel about that? Are you like, nah, I'm going?
No, because work's just a little too crazy right now. So we usually have one dark week a month where we work from home, and that was going to be ideal, but we just got flooded with requests. So
got it.
We're about to go 7-8 weeks in a row, so it's made it a little more difficult
Yeah.
to make that happen.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
I'm not trying to make excuses, but it's just for the best.
Yeah,
right
for sure.
now.
And if you make it out for your brothers, like at least.
Yeah, it's close. Like,
Yeah.
my brother's April 19th, my dad's May 4th, so.
Nice. Oh, Star Wars Day.
Yeah.
Sick. What a legend. What a legend. All right, let's wrap this up here. What is a message that you, if it was like, hey dude, here's your microphone to the world, this is what the world should know. What is that message?
Oh man, it's gonna sound so cliche.
That's what so many people say.
Yeah.
But isn't it weird? Like,
It's like if you've got this itch within you, and this is like you're not happy, like I was, and I mean the production thing, like I said, like he said, 5 weeks, you want to do it? And I was like, fuck yeah, I want to do it. Like, what am I waiting for? You know?
mm-hmm.
Before I even knew the rate.
Okay, maybe don't do that. I'm gonna veto this.
I knew there had to be
the-
something in play, but I was in a good enough place where I was like, this
Yeah.
is a valuable experience.
Yeah.
I was like, I have so many friends in Seattle, I'll find someone who can take me in,
Mm-hmm.
and if I have to pay them rent, fine.
Yep.
So I just went for it, and then after that, I was hooked, and every single opportunity, anything I get my hands on, I don't care what it was, I was like, I'll PA for you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about the rate. I didn't tell them that, but
Yeah.
I was gonna do it no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
So I made the jump 3 years ago, and here I am doing what I sought out for. Very fortunate. I feel like I fast tracked it a little bit. It was kind of a who you know situation.
Yeah.
Laura,
Yep.
put my name in, so I feel very grateful for that.
Yeah.
But it's been a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Getting hired on, really, really humbling. Just so much gratitude and reward.
Yeah. So, the message is follow your gut, like something that's burning inside you.
Yeah, you just gotta take that step.
What does it take?
Which you hear from like every
Yeah, but
inspirational.
yeah,
speaker
yeah, you do. But a lot of inspirational speakers and all this stuff are like they're very far removed from that moment.
Yeah.
Right, you are just—it's pretty fresh for you that you're like you're more closely related and connected to this moment than someone who's like, 40 years ago I had this experience. You're like, this just happened.
Right.
So for you, if you were talking to your old self, let's say, and you're like, this is how I would snap him out of this kind of hamster wheel of talking yourself out of taking the leap or whatever it is, like, what would you say to him?
And I mean, I was there. I would start getting doubts. I'd watch how some of these producers operate and be like, do I have that in me?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I never doubted if it's what I wanted to do. It was if I'm competent enough.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just kept at it. I don't know. And I'm usually can give up easily on things.
Really?
Admittedly.
Hold on now. Hold on. This was supposed to be a quick wrap up, but now I have more questions. You are I tend to jump in pretty heavy early on.
That's relationship wise.
But you're also okay. That's relationship wise. But you're also like, I tend to give up pretty easy. So what things do you give up easy on?
It could be something like doing a set of pull-ups. Maybe I won't push for that last rep. Maybe I'll leave the gym 30 minutes after getting there because I'm just not into it.
Okay.
And it comes in spurts, and it's something I've battled my whole life.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Which is polar opposite from my dad.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah. That guy just doesn't give up on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, is that something you're working on?
I've been working on that my whole life.
Seriously?
Yeah.
On not giving up?
Yeah.
Are you
just
done?
pushing through,
Dude.
And it's not easy.
It's
hard to break old habits.
You are so right. I have a question. And this is going to be like, oh, here he goes. He's going to be that guy. Do you know what I'm going to ask you?
No.
You want to do jiu-jitsu?
Oh, shit.
Here's why I asked that before you answer. There's so many people. Oh, it's like I think it's funny because I remember when CrossFit was so huge and it was like, oh my God, leave me alone. No, I'm not going to CrossFit. I'm not going to your box to do whatever you guys do. You know, kipping pull-ups. I'm not doing it. I feel like I'm that guy with jiu-jitsu now. But but the whole reason for this, for me anyway, is because there's so many things that I just did not like about myself. For so long, and I hadn't really even, some of it I hadn't even pinpointed, right? Like I hadn't even really seen it. It was more of like a feeling, you know? I couldn't name it, let's say, but there were things that it's just like, oh, I don't like this. But since actually going in and like committing to this, and so many times for 15 years, I made a video about this. 15 years, I was gonna do martial arts.
Okay.
I'd go to the gym, I'd go for 2 weeks, and then I was never to be seen again. And then a year later, I'm like, oh, dude, I'm going to go. Right? And I did this for 15 years. Mm-hmm. So finally I had this shift and everything just made sense. And I explained this to people too. And I explained it in that video, which is this. If there's something you really want to commit to, and I didn't learn this until like a while into it, this chapter, let's say. Mm-hmm. So we're talking 8-9 months ago. If there's something you really want to commit to and you want to do the thing, because I thought, oh, I'm going to learn guitar, I'm going to learn piano. There's so many things over all the years that it's like, oh yeah, and I'll pick it up and then I'd leave it.
That's exactly what that's, you know.
Same?
I've done it with running, I've done it with, you know.
Yes.
It's like that.
Yes.
Like that. Yeah.
So, all of these things, I had all of these reasons of like, oh dude, it'd be so cool to do this, or I really want to do that, or whatever. And I really felt like I wanted to do these things. Mm-hmm. The only thing that changed for me was when I decided, okay, in jiu-jitsu, for when I started asking a lot of higher belts and a lot of brown and black belts and all this stuff, like, okay, obviously you've been in it for long, like, what's the mindset? Like, and I started to try to pick this apart. Yeah. It all came down to this. Once I spoke to enough people and mapped this out, it all came down to this. Everybody has different reasons for wanting to do this. Mm-hmm. Some people go, I want to do this for self-defense. Some go, I want to do this for fitness. Some go, I want to do it for confidence. There's so many different reasons for wanting to do it. The only thing that I found in talking to all of these people that actually works to keep somebody committed is to make your opponent or your enemy showing up. That's it. That is it. So I was looking for this golden formula of like, oh, dude, how do I get there, right? And it's not like I don't mean this in the sense of like, oh, just tell yourself you're going to show up. What I mean is I just committed to the most basic level of this where I go, okay, I have my goal number of times per week that I'll go. Yeah. But my commitment is only one time per week because that's doable no matter how busy my schedule is. No matter, I mean, we're realistic. Talking. It's very realistic.
2 young kids, yeah.
Yeah, even a crazy schedule, like you know how it can get sometimes. Like if you're just shooting, you're traveling, and all this stuff that I. If I had the craziest schedule, I can find a gym somewhere at some point where I can get in there for 1 hour and do one class in 1 week. I could do that. Yeah. So when I committed to that, and it was no longer like, oh, I want to go and be a badass, or I want to be able to be confident or protect my family, like whatever. Those were just the byproduct of just making the commitment to go just once a week. That's it. Yeah. If I go more, awesome, but that's my only opponent. So when I made this shift, that's where everything changed for me. And now I'm at, I mean, even through injury, like that was my thing is like, even if I get injured, I'm still going to go to class and I'll just watch from the side. Cause that's my commitment, right? Is I'm going to go. So when I did all that, when I made this shift, that's when everything changed. And now I don't know how many months, I'm like 9 months consistent, never missed a week, even with injury. Like I'm still battling a rib injury, still going. It's literally like, this is totally different for me. Yeah. Because I'm going to go. And it was just like feeling based and all that stuff. And I saw people who were disciplined and all this. And it was like, I couldn't figure out the discipline part. I just couldn't do it. I tried different things and different times and different ideas, whatever. Yeah. It wasn't until I just go, my only opponent is showing up. That's it. I don't care who beats me. I don't care who gets better. I don't care anything. I just have to show up. And that's where I mark my win. That was it. And then everything changed after that. Yeah. So that's why I asked this. There's so many other things that I can go on about what has changed for me with jiu-jitsu, even like podcasting. Yeah. I went almost 3 years, 2+ years without recording a single episode. And this now is, I don't know how many, like probably like number 8 in just a few weeks time, let's say. Vlogging, same thing. I've 17 weeks, haven't missed a single week. Like everything everything has been consistent, and it's all, I can point all of this to jiu-jitsu because I just go, oh, I figured it out. All I have to do is commit to one thing.
Yeah.
And the one thing has to solve as many of the problems that you've seen and faced and experienced as it possibly can. And so far, for me, that's just showing up once a week. That's it. So if I find something else that's a better solution to focus on that solves all of the problems of, well, I don't have the money, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the energy, or I don't have this or whatever. If I find something that's better, then I'll pick it up. But for now, what's worked is just committing to one tiny little thing, just one a week. That's it.
Yeah. And that's, that's life, right? It's consistency.
Right. So it shows up in my life so much right now. I look at it and I'm like, holy smokes, I haven't lived this productively.
Yeah.
Almost ever.
Yeah.
And so I just see these changes and I'm like, man, I love it. So I want to share it with everybody, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I ask. It's not like, yo, come get your ass beat. Like, It's tough to do. It's like, it's not an easy thing to do, and it's very scary to walk into a gym the first time knowing that, like, oh, this is a fighting sport, a fighting art, like this is combat in a sense, that people are going to try to hurt me, but that's not really how it goes. Yeah. But it is scary. The feeling of all that is scary. So this is why I ask. So now, with all of that laid out, if you're up for it, would you be down?
Yeah, because I've talked about this for years too. When I was telling you earlier, my brother was doing JKD and teaching me some things, and Brazilian BJJ specifically is something I've always been interested in because of Anderson Silva.
Oh, dude, he was my favorite too, dude. I love that.
So
that man had a reign.
Yeah, and then just a sad.
Yeah, shin break. Yeah, that was not ideal.
No, I just mean. Kept fighting, kept losing,
kept getting...
and then he boxed. I think one of the Paul. I don't know.
Yes, not
just
good.
Sad, but
that
he sparked an interest in BJJ for me for a long time, and it was always, oh, look, a gym, I should check it out. Or maybe one time it was, oh my god, it's how much? Can't do that now.
Yep.
Or just never made the leap.
Okay, you work remotely Mondays and Fridays?
Yes.
Perfect. You down to go this Friday? 11 a.m.
This Friday, I'm heading out of town.
Oh, that's right.
More next Friday, but
maybe next Monday?
Fridays are good for you. Monday? That's doable.
Oh, shoot. No, my bad. Wednesdays and Fridays are my favorite 11 a.m. class. But
okay, it might need to be a couple Fridays.
We could either do an early or an evening. We could do like a 6 p.m. We could do
that would be better.
6 p.m. is better?
Meetings in the morning.
Okay.
I'm usually done by about noon. I can kind of sign off and be comfortable with that.
Okay.
Most weeks.
There's the reason I'm aiming. Like, if we could do a Friday 11 a.m. class, it's the best class, the best instructor for what would be a good intro and everything for you.
Okay.
But you're down is what I'm getting at.
Yes.
Let's go.
Hold me to it.
I will.
Don't let me just say yes and.
Oh, I mean, you're on the record now. Everybody, if you don't see a post with this guy at the gym with me at some point in the next couple of weeks, I'm going out of town for a bit too. But if you don't see it, go shame him. Shame.
I welcome the shame.
Yes,
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
I think you're gonna love it.
I know I will.
I think you're gonna love it, and all you have to do is just one a week, and we'll talk more about it. That's it. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the podcast. I can't do that, dude. Thanks, everybody.
It was an honor. I appreciate you bringing me on here.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning.
Look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes.
Thanks for
Stop
tuning
laughing.
in. One of these days. Any questions, comments, direct them his way. I don't want to hear it. Just kidding.
I don't either.
Let's go.